Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal are close to finalizing an agreement with Bukayo Saka to make him the most paid player at Arsenal at the moment. However, Mikel Arteta has also confirmed that there is progress on all the other contract situations, including Thomas Partey. Could Arsenal do the unthinkable and give Partey at least a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal at Arsenal? Mikel Arteta says that Arteta and the club will decide on the future of Thomas Partey, but the plan is very clear. We'll talk about Partey, we'll talk about Saka as well, and most importantly in this video, Arsenal want a second player from Atletico Bilbao. I don't know what Mikel Arteta is seeing in players in Spain. It is crazy, but again, we want a second player from Atletico Bilbao, and this time it is the midfielder. Oihai Sunset is the player we're looking at, 24 years of age, an attacking midfielder, crazy numbers. He's got absolutely crazy numbers, but of course we're going to be talking about all that. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Now, Kai Havertz is the most paid player at Arsenal, earning 280,000 at the club. If Saka is to be the most paid, he would be earning about 290 and above. Do you think that Arsenal should make Saka the most paid player at Arsenal? Let me know in the comment box below. But let's start off with that massive update from Fabrizio Romano. He has confirmed that Arsenal are now very close to reaching an agreement with Bukayo Saka, and they're going to make him the most paid player at Arsenal. This news has also been corroborated by Sami Makpo at the BBC, who says that Arsenal's plan is to make Saka the most paid player at the club, and that is not going to change. Now, at the moment, like I said, our most paid player is Kai Havertz. I don't know how Arsenal signed Kai Havertz from Chelsea at a time where his career was like declining, and then we offered him 200k per week. I don't know what Mikel Arteta saw in Kai Havertz. I don't know what he sees up to now, but he's the most paid player at Arsenal, and that actually puts us in quite a dangerous position, because there's so many players at the club that are performing more than Kai Havertz, that are performing better than Kai Havertz, and if you're gonna renew their contracts, they will want more money, and they'll want bigger wages and bigger assurances than Kai Havertz. I mean, think about William Saliba earning less than Kai Havertz. Think about Declan Rice earning less than Kai Havertz. Think about Odegaard earning less than Kai Havertz. Think about all these players, Gabriel Magalhaes and the others, earning less than Kai Havertz. So that means that Arsenal are going to put themselves in a situation where Kai Havertz is kind of the drawing line. Every player is like, well, Kai is a good player, but I'm performing better than him, so I've got to earn more money than him. And that means you're going to be paying about 300k to about 5-6 players at the club. But when it comes to Bukayo Saka, it is absolutely different. I was, starstruck when I saw that Saka was not the most paid player at Arsenal. I honestly thought he was among the most paid players, and he's among the most paid players, but I thought he was earning around 250k. But his salary is significantly lower than the salary of Kai Havertz. And Arsenal saying now, we're going to make him the most paid player at Arsenal, and for me, he absolutely deserves it. For the last 4 years, Saka has been the most consistent performer at the club, but also one of the most consistent performers in the Premier League. If salaries were determined by how consistent you are in the Premier League and in the Champions League for your club, Saka definitely must be the most paid player at Arsenal. If salaries were determined by how many minutes you played for your club and country, definitely Saka is among the top paid players in the world right about now, if that was the metric. So yeah, I agree, Saka should be earning that. The only fear I have, and I've said this on the channel before, the only fear I have is that as Saka goes into the 300k mark, as a couple of players go into the 300k mark, we're gonna have a lot of talent wanting to earn a share of that 300k per week salary, and Arsenal are going to find themselves in a situation where wages are even bigger and a bigger problem than the transfer fees these players are actually commanding. But at the moment, I agree with Arsenal, this is the right time to make Saka the most paid player and highest paid player at the club. Now, Mikel Arteta was speaking about contract situations and transfers, and he was asked about, is there progress on the Thomas Partey contract situation? Can Arsenal fans expect progress on that front? And he said something very interesting. He said, yes, there is progress on all players, right? And I'll leave Arteta and the club to decide on all those contract situations, but there is contract progress on all players, including Thomas Partey. Now, there are two things here. Just yesterday, the BBC, Sami Makpo, very close to the club, was reporting about, Arsenal giving a new deal to Partey and Jorginho, and it's like, it's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely that they stay. It's highly unlikely that they sign new deals, and, it's almost decided. But then Mikel Arteta, inside the press room, inside his press conference, talking about Partey, and he's saying, him saying that there is progress on all players, and that doesn't exclude Thomas Partey, and Andre Bata and the club are handling that, and they will be deciding who gets a new deal and who doesn't very, very soon. So the one thing I want to say here is that I think the plan is very clear, like Mikel said, right? Because he was asked about the plan to keep Partey, the plan to, give him a new deal. And he said the plan is very clear. It was communicated right from the summer. And we already know what the club wanted to do right from last summer. But Andre Bata coming in, a few things have changed. A few things that, he's touching here and there, using his experience, have actually changed. Now, is the attitude towards Partey among the things that have actually changed? That's a very big question. For me, it's a no-brainer. If you look at the performances of Thomas Partey this campaign and how reliable he has been for the club, we've got to keep him. There's no question about it. We've got to keep him as such an important cog in the machine. The only concerns I have about Partey and a new deal are this. One, he's turning 32. And if he's turning 32, I think Arsenal made the right decision at the right time to go and replace him. Honestly, like, if Partey breaks down next season and we didn't sign Martin Zubimendi, all of us would be saying this is sheer incompetence. How could you not replace a 32-year-old Thomas Partey? So this time, I'm going to give Arsenal the benefit of the doubt. They have gone and signed Martin Zubimendi at a time when Partey's age is becoming to, light up as a concern on the radar. They've actually done that. So I'm going to give Arsenal the credit. The other problem I have with Partey is he's 32 and he's on massive wages, right? And you bring in new players, Dean Huyson maybe, Zubimendi maybe, Nico Williams maybe, and all these players are going to need and ask for high wages, right? So is this the time where, like, you've done what you've done, Partey, but you're on massive wages, you're going to become a squad player, let's let you go. But positively, and I know many people on this channel think that I don't like Partey, I want him out, all that stuff. I don't think that's true even. I like Partey. I don't have a problem with Thomas Partey, and I would keep him at Arsenal in a heartbeat, right? We've just got to look at different angles. Now, he's a player that is in talks with a couple of other clubs to see where he can end up, and if Arsenal can actually, convince him to stay, I think that's a good thing in my opinion. Mikel Arteta wants a second player from Atletico Bilbao. Is it crazy? Like, getting Nico Williams is going to be hard enough, but he wants another player. A player that has scored 15 goals this season, and he is not a striker. A player that has, averaged at least 8 goals per campaign in the last 3 years. And that name is Oihan Sunset. Oihan Sunset, 24 years of age, Spanish midfielder, attacking profile. Mikel is obsessed with him, and we are being told that he has told Andre Bata, can we go and do the deal? Now, Mikel obviously is full of himself these days. He was asked about Arsenal's ability to get players in the market, and he said, we can get anyone. We can attract anyone at the moment. So, Oihan Sunset is among the top targets and top priorities at Arsenal, and, it's emerging very, very quickly across the media. Now, what I can tell you about him, he's an attacking midfielder, first and foremost. He's got a market value of 60 million euros, but he's got a release clause of 80 million euros, right? Release clause, 80 million euros. Market value, 60 million euros. He has scored 15 goals this campaign. He's a goal-scoring midfielder. In terms of assisting a lot, he doesn't do it so much, right? He's not the Cesc Fabregas type. He's the which kind of midfielder really scored a lot of goals for us at Arsenal? I think Aaron Ramsey, right? He's that kind of Aaron Ramsey kind of midfielder. Attacking profile, scores a lot of goals, doesn't assist a lot. And I think Mikel Arteta is a big fan of such players. Remember Fabio Vieira? We wanted to make Fabio Vieira that kind of guy. Didn't work out, but you understand the point. Now Mikel Arteta is looking at Oihan Sunset and saying you can play in central midfield. You have excellent numbers. You can be an excellent option for Martin Odegaard. We are going to do that. I think Arsenal are trying to learn from their mistakes. We tried to play Martin Odegaard for 38 games in the Premier League and all of the Champions League, and he broke down form. He lost his form, and of course, you know, the injury as well. So it looks like Arsenal are trying to adapt from that mistake. Now, can we do a double scoop from Atletico Bilbao? Tricky, especially if one is 60 million euros in Nico Williams and the other is 80 million euros in Oihan Sunset. But his salary is good, 41k. Arsenal can easily obliterate that. We can easily multiply that by 5 times or 4 times or 3 times, and he's earning very good money. But it's not going to be easy to negotiate with Atletico Bilbao. But this story should be featuring in one of my stories coming up. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and I'll speak to you right in the next one.